Alright, next handout is word problems. So word problems, we have to take the information we're given and write an equation. So you have to write an equation. And then write equation, step 1. And number 2, we need to solve it. Okay, so a two-step process all the way through. I'm going to do the odd ones, and then I'll let you do the even ones, and you can always check your work with the answer key that you're provided with. Okay, so number 1, it says the sum of 3 consecutive odd numbers is 81. What is the smallest of the 3? Okay, so you could do guess and check since it's a small number like 81, but to set up the equation, think of odd numbers, like for example 1, 3, then 5. Each of those numbers is 2 apart. So if I let the first one be x plus the second one, notice they're 2 apart, I'm going to add 2. And the one after that would be 2 more, right? So think about 1 and 3 and 5. Okay, so again, the first number, the second number, and then the third one, and we're comparing them to x. And we know that the total sum is 81. So now if I simplify this on the left, I have 1, 2, 3 x's plus 6 is equal to 81. Now if you solve this, it's just a matter of now take away 6 from both sides, and you would get 3x is equal to 81 minus 6 is 75, then divide by 3. And you get 25 is equal to x. So if I want to know the other ones, I would have 25. X plus 2 more would be 27, and then 29. Again, going back to my original equation, x plus 2, x plus 4. So these are all the 3 numbers, but the one they're looking for is the smallest one, which is 25. Okay. Alright, going down to number 3. Dan bought a soft drink for $2 and then 7 candy bars. He spent a total of $37. How much did each candy bar cost? Okay, so let's think about an equation here. He bought a soft drink for 2, so $2 plus 7 candy bars. So I'm going to use the letter C to represent candy bars. And how much did I total? I total spent $37. Okay, so there's your equation. Now we solve it by taking away 2 from both sides. 7c would then equal 35, and divide both sides by 7. And candy bars then would equal $5. Okay, $5. Final answer. Number 5. Mike sold half of his comic books and then bought 6 more. He now has 15. How many did he begin with? Okay, so let's think of an equation. Half of his comic books. So equation be 1/2 of his books, B for books, and then he bought 6 more, so plus 6. He now has 15, so his total is 15. Okay, so now to solve this one, just take away 6 from both sides, and then I get 1/2 of B is equal to 9. And how do I get rid of the 1/2? I times by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of 1/2 is 2 over 1, and times that side by 2 over 1. 9 times 2 is 18. And make sure it stands for B, and that stands for books. Okay, 18 books. Alright. Number 7. Dan spent half of his allowance going to the movies. He washed the family car and earned $8 more. What is his weekly allowance? So if he ended up with $12 total. Alright, so half of his allowance. So 1/2, pop out the letter A for allowance. Then he earned $8 more, so plus 8. He ended up with $12 total. So there is your equation. Solving it, take away 8 from both sides. So then I get 1/2 of A is equal to 4, because 12 minus 8 is 4. Again, times it by reciprocals here. Get a by itself, times by 2 over 1, times by 2 over 1, and I get 8 is equal to A, which stands for his allowance. So $8. Okay. And lastly, number 9. Sally had $80 to spend on 8 books. After buying them, she had $16 left. How much did each book cost? Okay, so you see, she started with $80. So 80 spend on 8 books. So she's going to buy, so that's subtraction, 8, and how about the letter B for books? And she ended up with $16 left over. Right, so in this case, I would take away 80. And notice I'm going to have negative 8b is going to equal 16 minus 80. That is negative 64. Notice we have negative numbers, so don't worry about it, because when I divide by a negative on both sides, I get b to equal negative divided by a negative is positive, and 64 over 8 to 8. Okay, so each book was $8. Again, B stands for books. It's always good to make sure that you know what your variables stand for. You know, as long as we have books here, allowance books. C was the price for candy bar cost, right? So that's a candy bar, right? And X was the integer, the lowest integer was 25. Alright, you guys can do the even ones and check your work. Again, you want to instructions, write the equation, and then you solve it. So make sure you do that all the way through. And if you want to use a separate piece of paper, you can do that. That may very much help you a lot. Okay? If you get it wrong, go back, maybe look at your equation. Maybe the equation's wrong, maybe you solved it wrong. So you could have a couple different things. Okay? Good luck.